Okay, let's do this one again. This is worth doing again. Sit tight. Kahinde, let's talk about the guy that did Obama's pic painting. By the way, I know that there was a different artist that did the painting of Michelle Obama, and I will give her her due in just a minute. She certainly deserves her due right here, Amy Sherald. We'll get to her in a minute. I want to focus on this very sick man. And this very, very sick man, I want to show y'all just how sick this man is and how sick this man is. And we're going to get to it, and I'm just going to expose what it is. Let's talk about Mr. Kahinde that did Barack Obama's portrait. Let's take a look at portraits of previous presidents real quick, and let's look at what that looks like. Guys, I know that some of the images are a little fuzzy when they stretch out, but because you lose some resolution. But what I'll do is I'll click on them, and the resolution will be good. So here are other presidents' portraits, and here's Barack. I am the Antichrist. I am the serpent from the Garden of Eden. You're looking at the resurrection of the serpent from the Garden of Eden. You're looking at the resurrection of the devil right here. That's who he is. Now, watch this. Let's talk about Mr. Kahinde Wiley that did his painting. Okay, so this guy, he was born in Los Angeles. Remember this. His father is Yoruba. Remember that. Yoruba from Nigeria. Okay? And remember that when he went over there when he was 20 years old to Nigeria to explore his roots, that's an understatement, and meet his father, okay? In his careers. Now, in 2012, Wiley, who is known for painting men, exhibited work in Beijing, including multiple paintings of women, described as his variation of the painting of Judith beheading Holofernes. Let's click on that. And so this is a famous Italian painting. And so his paintings that he does of women that have their heads cut off, now pay attention, is a variation of the painting I just showed you. It's a variation of the painting of Judith beheading Holofernes as standing out amongst the rest, describing the painting as depicting a tall, elegant black woman in a long blue dress. In one hand, she holds a knife, in the other, a cleanly severed brunette female head. Okay, so there you go. And so here's Mr. Kahinde from who is Yoruba. The name Kahinde means the second born of the twins. That's what his name means. And it comes from the Yoruba ethnic group from Nigeria. And then Kahinde means the second born of the twins, or the one who comes after Taiwo. Though Taiwo is the firstborn, it is believed Kahinde is the elder twin, sending Taiwo into the world first to determine if it's time to be born. Okay, so we're going to look at that again in just a moment. So there is Mr. Kahinde with a variation of a painting that he did. What's really strange about that is he changed the whole concept of the painting. And he has a tall, elegant black woman in a long, he has a tall, elegant black woman in a long blue dress. In one hand, she holds a knife, in the other, a cleanly severed brunette female head. Okay. outsourced New York Magazine retrieved February 13, 2018. Wiley exhibited a second similar painting also in 2012. It also features a black woman holding a knife in one hand with a white female severed head in the other hand. The paintings are based on the story of Judith beheading Holofernes. Okay, I showed you that. That's okay, that's actually a woman that was cutting off a man's head. Watch. In the end, a woman will compass a man. Watch this. So now what he's done is he switched it up. So he exhibited a second painting. The paintings are based on the story of Judith beheading Holofernes, a story of a female beheading a male general. Wiley, Kahinde Wiley, interpreted the female character of Judith as a modern day black woman. It is unclear why he interpreted Holofernes as white and changed the beheaded general Holofernes to from male to female. So he did a gender switch on the painting of Judith beheading Holofernes. There it is. So here it is. Here she is cutting off the head of the general. And he's saying that's what he's really doing, but he did a gender switch and a role switch. Bible says in the end a woman shall compass a man. Well, let's look a little bit more into this. Now, let me be very clear about something. I saw some comments that I thought either people don't know how to listen, which is very common on YouTube. People hear what they want to hear, they don't listen, or they don't really understand what was said. I told everybody in the last video, hey, quit saying everybody is a transgender. I get so many of those comments. It's absurd. It's insanity. And I said, quit doing that because you're not supposed to bear false witness against anybody. If someone's transgender, like Bruce Jenner, well, they're transgenders. So what? I know people that are gay. I'm very nice to people that are gay. I could care less. If they want to be gay, that's up to them. If they want to be transgender, that's up to them. But it's wrong to accuse people of being transgender when they're not. And all these people that are saying Beyonce's transgender, y'all are insane. She's not transgender. And all those people that say Debbie Harry was transgender, would you like me to show you her vagina in a picture? Because I went and looked it up because I was so sick of it. I was like, well, there you go. Back when Debbie Harry was a teen, they didn't have sex change operations. So I've had enough of that nonsense. I have nothing against someone that's transgender. That's just their deal. But I do have something against people that think it's their job to say everyone's transgender. Get a life. Quit bearing false witness. Okay, now that I straightened that out, let's get back to it. Okay, so here we go. Now Barack Obama was the president of the United States. He was the president of the United States of America for 8 years. Of course, he drove the country into the dirt because that was his plan. He's the devil in the flesh and he's coming back. And Donald Trump's the fall guy. He's the scapegoat, so to speak. And here is the artist right here that Barack Obama himself, this guy right here, Barack Obama. Let's click on it. It'll give you a better resolution. Barack Obama. Okay, I stand corrected. Resolution sucks. Barack Obama is the guy that chose Mr. Kahinde to be the guy that painted him. Let's see. In October 2017, it was announced that Wiley had been chosen by Barack Obama to paint an official portrait of the former president to appear in the Smithsonian's National Portrait Gallery American Presidents Exhibition. Okay, so let me just let's talk. Okay, that's pretty sick. So a president of the United States that talks about racial equality hired a sick, twisted, whacked out artist named Kehinde Wiley that did a complete gender switch on his painting of the beheading, Judith beheading Holofernes, and turned it into a black woman holding the head of a white woman. And he's got several of those. I have looked at them. You know what? Let's just go look. Let's just go look. Here we go. Okay, let's just go look. Okay, so there you go. There's one. I think this is probably the one that was described in the article. There is one black woman cutting off a white woman's head. She's a brunette. Let's have a look. There you go. She's a brunette. And let's see. And there's another one right there. And she's kind of more of a dishwater blonde. And so he seems to have a weird fixation for gender transference and cutting heads off white women. And Barack Obama chose him. See, it says right here. It was announced that that Wiley had been chosen by Barack Obama. You know why? Because Barack Obama was the spirit of the serpent that was in the garden. I'm going to prove it to you. Just wait. Just watch. Sit tight. Don't freak out. Just sit there. Don't freak out on me. Get ready. Okay, so let's go back to the Kehinde, the meaning of his name. It is Yoruba. His dad is Yoruba. Origin meaning the second born of the twins, or the one who comes after Taiwo. It's really interesting because there's like an age switch. Though Taiwo is the firstborn, it is believed that Kehinde is the elder twin, sending Taiwo into the world first to determine if it's time to be born. Okay, well, let's look at the Yoruba Ibiji belief system. As the Yoruba believe that twins share the same combined soul. Oh, wow. That reminds me of something. So the Yoruba, the tribe, believe that the twins share the same combined soul. What have I been telling you guys? That the beginning of all things, Cain and Abel were twins. And by the way, there it is in the Targum. And I'm going to use the Bible now. Listen, people are like, oh, that's not the Bible. It is the Bible. And are you ready? Because I'm going to use the Bible to prove it. Okay? I'm going to use the Bible to prove that the Targum, by the way, which predates your Bible. Everybody's all hung up thinking the King James is, oh, if it's the King James, if it's not the King James. Don't you know that the King James had to be translated from Aramaic, from Hebrew into English? I speak other languages. I'm telling you, people that don't speak other languages, they have their minds so much in a box that if you show them a book that predates the Bible and it shows a more accurate meaning, they can't accept it because all they speak is English, which is a bummer. So let me help you, and I'll backtrack it for those people. For those of y'all that get it, good for you guys. For those of y'all that don't get it and want to argue, let me silence your arguing. Okay, here we go. Adam called the name of his wife Hava, Eve, because she is the mother of all the children of men. This is the Targum Jonathan, Genesis 4. And let's see, wait, hang on, let me go here. Genesis 4, Targum Jonathan. And Adam had sex with Hava, his wife, who had desired the angel. And she had sex with the angel, and she conceived. And she bare Cain and said, I have acquired a man, the angel of the Lord. And she added to bear from her husband Adam his twin, even Abel. So there you go. That established the government of the world in the Garden of Eden. The government of the world was established with Cain and Abel. Now, at the risk of being redundant, here is an entire building that's built in the shape of a serpent, like the one from the garden. Okay, you see the serpent? There's the mouth of the serpent right there. Okay, I got my cursor right there. It's on the mouth of the serpent. Let's go see what that window is inside. Inside. There's the window right inside the Vatican. So we go inside. That window right there is the mouth of the serpent. Those are a bunch of God's angels going into a vortex. And it just happens to be that the black seat, the black chair right there, that black chair is a penis injecting its seed into a female vagina. There it is. Okay, I just proved it. I just used empirical data. I showed you this chair is really, it's a male reproductive system shooting a seed into a female vagina. But to see the vagina, you got to turn the whole altar upside down because they are opposite energies. Okay. Isaiah 29:15. Woe unto them who go to great depths to hide their plans from the Lord. Their works are in the darkness. And they say, who seeth us, who knoweth us? Okay. Let me look at the screen. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be regarded as the work of God. So I'm going to turn this altar right there. I'm going to turn it upside down, just like Isaiah 29:15 and 16 told me to do. So there it is. Boom. I just turned this upside down. There it is. And now I'll slide the female reproductive system over. Boom. It's a female reproductive system. So when you take the combination of the male and the female, you get X marks the spot. So there it is. There's the system. There's the male penis right there, ejaculating the seed into the female reproductive system right here. And it is a no-brainer. And now I'm going to enlarge this sheep. And we're going to look at all the semen running down the side of the penis because I'm going to show you something on Barack Obama's picture right here that's going to absolutely blow your mind. And I'm going to go in just a minute. I'm going to go to the Bible and I'm going to break it down for all those people that don't know how to use a translation source. And I'm going to do it in the nicest way I know how. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to show you what it is. If you want to argue, go to another channel. I'm here just to show you the truth. Okay, so here we go. There is the black penis injecting the seed into the open vagina, and all these angels are pubic hair, and all this is semen coming down the side of the penis, rolling out of the vagina, and there's the seed. If you don't like that, then I'm sorry, this is the truth. And if you would not hear the truth, then do not come to this channel. That's a penis ejaculating a seed into a vagina, and it represents a seed of the serpent. It is the angel putting his seed inside the vagina. That is the Garden of Eden. That is the fall right there. And all these angels are part of the fall. Okay, now, so here we go. Let's go back to the idea of twins. Okay, pay very close attention. Here we go. Watch. This is the mouth of the serpent right here. The mouth of the serpent is this window right there. Let me move this. There it is. The mouth of the serpent is that window right there. So when the penis goes into the vagina, the penis is going into the mouth of the serpent right there, just on the inside. And the whole thing, the entire thing, is a giant bug. So the penis is going into the mouth of a big bug. Well, that's funny because there's an angel of the bottomless pit who is the king over a locust race of beings. That's why this penis is ejaculating its seed into the mouth of the bug, because there's a twin paradigm. There's an underground, as above, so below paradigm, right side up and upside down paradigm. Well, let me show you how stars, like people like Beyonce and Rihanna and all these people, how they glorify Satan, and but by showing this openly. So let's take this penis that represents the penis of Osiris, and right there, I just showed you, right there, the mouth of that serpent is the same as the mouth of this bug. And there is that penis going in the mouth of the bug, and there is a penis that would be the same thing as going in the mouth of the serpent. Well, let's take this penis and let's put it right up here in the twins folder. Let me show you a girl named Rihanna. Why does Rihanna have the devil on her crotch? Why is the mouth of the devil right where the opening of her vagina goes? So if you took this penis right here of the devil that I took from over here and I put it right in the devil's mouth, it would be going in Rihanna's vagina. Wow, that's convenient. Now, let's have a look at a couple images. I wonder why Rihanna has a fish hook on the side of her face. Do you think it's normal for hair to stay like that? You think that's a normal hair position? That's a fish hook because she is the bait and she propagates the agenda of the devil, which is to put your penis right there in the devil's mouth, which is the exact same thing as the Vatican. The mouth of the serpent is the devil. If you put your penis in there, you're putting your penis in the mouth of the devil. And it happens to be a vagina. There you go. So the mouth of the devil is a vagina. That's how every host body gets made, and that's where he gets his food from. Now, if you don't believe that's a penis, I very clearly heard the Lord tell me several weeks ago, Jonathan, find a view from above the altar. And I did, and I was like, oh my gosh, look what they have here. That's why they have those white candles around the seed coming out, because it makes a vesica, which is the opening to the penis, shooting the seed out into the vagina. And you can see all the semen flowing down, just flowing like honey. And there just happens to be honeycombs right above this altar, like the ones that are probably in the pit where souls go that die without being converted. So there you go. Black penis shooting seed into an open vagina, and then all the semen coming down the sides of that black penis. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. I didn't make the altar, but I can certainly show you exactly what it is. So now let's get to Mr. Obama. There's a lot of stuff going on with semen here, isn't there? There's a lot of, it's kind of creepy, right? Kind of, yeah, it's not so pleasant, but someone's got to do it. It's a dirty job, but I'll deal with it. I can be clinical. Let's be like doctors. Let's knock this thing out of the park. Let's go to Mr. Kahinde, the twins. Remember, I told you the beginning of the world. Let's go to the Bible now. I'm not even going to go to the Targum. I'm going to go to the Bible. Okay, so let's look at the Bible. Let's go back to Genesis 3, and I haven't even touched it, and I'm going to do it in front of everybody, and you can do it yourself. I got Genesis 3 up, and this is where Eve, the woman, now the serpent, the word for serpent is Nakash. It's not a snake per se, it's a snake from its hiss, serpent. Okay, there it is. Okay, was more subtle than any of the beasts of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, the word for woman is Isha Nashim. It means adulteress. Now, I'll tell you what, there's many other words for woman in Hebrew. Just like in Spanish, there's other words for woman that don't have the connotation of adulteress. This word has that connotation because she was an adulteress. That's why in Genesis 4, when it says, and Adam knew Hava, his wife, then you'll see that the word wife is also adulteress. Okay, let's see what the woman said to the serpent. She said, we may eat of any of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God said, you shall not eat it, neither shall you touch it, lest you die. Let's click on the word touch, because before you eat something, you got to touch it, don't you? So let's go to the word touch. I'll just do it in green. I'll click on it. There it is. It means to touch for any reason, lay your hand upon for any reason, to lie with a woman. There you go. Neither shall you touch it lest you die. And the serpent said to the woman, you will not die. He lied. For God know the day you eat it, your eyes will be open, you'll be like gods. And the woman saw that the tree, what's the word for tree here? Let's look it up. The word for tree, it is not a tree. It means a tree from its firmness. Wait a minute. That reminds me of another tree. Look, that seat's made out of wood. Oh, like a woody, you mean? Yeah. There you go. That's where the term woody probably comes from. And so now we have a penis from its firmness. Let's go back to E sword. So now we go back to V sword. And she saw that the tree, and I'll just go ahead and click on that. The tree from its firmness. Okay. And then we'll go to the root of the word. It means to fasten or to make firm, to close or to shut. Oh, you mean, wait a minute, like when a firm penis goes into a vagina like that. It fastened and it made fixed. There you go. Okay, so it looks like the definitions of the words are playing out very well, but let's look at another one. And when she saw that it was good for food and it was pleasant, by the way, the word food means to burn up and consume. I know it because it means provender, flesh, and fruit. And it comes from this word, 398. It means literally or figuratively to eat. X at all, burn up, consume, devour. Okay, so that it was good to burn up, consume, or devour, and it was pleasant to her eyes. Let's look up the word pleasant. The word pleasant means a longing, by implication, a delight, subjectively satisfaction, objectively a charm, exceedingly greedily lusting. Okay, well, that's one heck of a piece of fruit. If you're longing for it and you're greedily lusting after it, and let's go look at the root of the word that it's made up of. To wish for, to covet, to greatly desire, to be desirous, to long and lust after. Now let me just get the screen for a sec. I've been to the grocery store so many times. I've never not once gotten firm because I was standing around all the fruit. Now, I don't know if you have, but if you have, maybe you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself, because that shouldn't be a normal thing. But apparently Eve, she got off on the fruit. She to wish for, covet, greatly desire, be desirous, to long for, and to lust after the firmness. There you go. To lust after the firmness, to fasten or to make firm or to close and to shut. Like that, you mean? You mean like that? From its firmness to shut. Oh, there you go. Because when it went in, it shut. That is the all-seeing eye. That's where it came from. So there you go. Now, let's go to Genesis 4 and let's just knock this deal down. Okay, so Adam, knew his wife. Oh, wow, it's the same word, adulteress, a woman adulteress. So that means an adulteress, by definition, is someone who's had sex outside the covenant of marriage. So if he knew his wife and she was an adulteress, that means she had to have sex with someone else. That's what the word means by definition. So Adam knew his adulteress because she had already laid with the serpent. That's why the Catholic Church has this whole altar of them doing it. There it is. And that's why when you turn the altar of a dead sheep, which represents all God's angels, all his prodigal sons that got carried away, when you turn it upside down, like Isaiah said, it is a vagina. Okay, so now let's go back and see what it says. And Adam knew his adulteress because she had already had sex with the serpent, and she conceived, became pregnant. There it is. She became pregnant. She conceived, and she bare Cain. Cain happens to mean, really interesting word here. Kajin, the first name of the first child born. Kajin means a spear in the sense of fixity, a lance as striking fast. Well, he did strike fast. The serpent struck first, and he put his penis in Eve. And then after that, Adam knew his wife Hava. Then after that, Adam knew Hava, his wife. But let's get to it. So she bare Cain, and she said, I have gotten a man. This is a very different word from man than Genesis 1:26, and Elohim, which is Satan and the fallen angels, God's angels and magistrates, right there. And God's angels and magistrates said, let us make man, Hebrew word 120. It means a human being hypocrite, in our image. The word image is selem. It means a phantom. Read it for yourself. It means an illusion. It means a resemblance with a semicolon. That means everything that follows the semicolon represents the word resemblance, hence a representative figure, especially an idol and a vain show. If you think that's the Lord God, you are deceived. So Elohim, which is e pluribus unum, many in one, that's Lucifer and the angels, said, let us make Adam, man, in our vain show, and our representative figure, especially an idol. Oh, you mean like this big idol? Or do you mean like this giant idol of a church that's the serpent? Because that is the serpent. That's why we have man as a hypocrite and an idol. Now let's go back. Okay, now let's go to Genesis 4. And she conceived and she bare Cain, which means the first child, and it means a spear, as in the sense of fixity, and a lance, as in striking fast, and an incurably sick, woeful human. Lament, mourning, to strike a musical note, and that's because that was the other voice inside your head. You have a duplicitous nature. You have two voices inside your head. And the one that got you to do all the bad stuff because you got trapped in the flesh is the one that puts you in the pit. And then she said, I have gotten a man. Look at the word man. Look at the word man. It is not the same as Hebrew 120. It says a man as an individual or male person, a champion, from the root 582, and it means a mortal, singularly or collectively bloodthirsty. And when you go to the root of the word, it means an incurably sick, woeful, desperately wicked, bloodthirsty, singularly or collectively mortal man. So that's what the adulteress got when she said she got Cain. And then again, okay, now everyone said well, where'd your theology come from? What's your theology? What are you using? You're using the Targum. That's not the King James. Right, it's not. It predates the King James, and it's even more accurate than the King James. And I'm going to use the King James, and I'm going to use the breakdown of the Hebrew to slam this home. Because Satan's kingdom, I'm here to expose it. That's what I'm here to do. So let's expose it. And again she bare. Okay, so she said, and Adam knew his wife. Well, back in Genesis 3, the serpent had sex with her. And everyone's like, where does that say? Neither shall you touch it lest you die, to lie with like a woman. And then further down, it said, and the serpent beguiled me. And the word beguiled means seduced into having sex. And Adam called the name of his wife Eve, By the way, Eve means Hava, just like it says in the Targum, which I already showed you. We'll go back to that in a minute. So let's finish off Genesis 4. So here we go. And again, she bears. So she just got through having sex in Genesis 3 with the serpent, and that was the fall. And again, she bare after Adam knew her. Okay, let's look at the word again. Okay, the word again means to add or augment. For those of y'all that don't have an extensive vocabulary, I'm not being facetious. I'm not being any other way but clinical like a professor in class. Do you know what the word augment means? Well, if I'm sitting here and I have a plate of spaghetti and I look over and I say, hey, would you mind augmenting this plate of spaghetti? That means to add to a process or something that is being done at that time. So let's look at the word augment in this situation. So right here in Genesis 4:2, and she again bare, she augmented, to add or augment. Look, often adverbially, to continue to do a thing, to conceive again, continue, exceed, further, gather, to get more. Okay, so she continued in her birthing, continued to do a thing. So again, she bare, and she put out another one, his brother, which is used in a very wide sense of the word brother, his brother Abel. And the word is Abel, the son of Adam. And the root of Abel is 1892, emptiness or vanity. And when you go to the root of that word, it means to be vain in act, word, or expectation. Oh, let's go back to Genesis 1. Let us create man in our own vain show. There it is. Okay, so God, Elohim, that's Satan and the fallen angels. And by the way, I'm going to show you how Barak ties into the Garden of Eden. I'm going to look right now. I'm going to show you Barak in the Garden of Eden. Barak, the spirit of the Antichrist that started this whole thing. Watch. Okay, so Elohim, God's angels and magistrates. Look at the little word of the supreme God. It does not say the supreme God. The supreme God is the Lord God, the Lord Elohim. It is not Elohim. So God created Adam in his image, vain show again, and he created them male and female. By the way, Fe on the periodic table of elements is iron. Iron mixed with the miry clay. Daniel 2:43, the last kingdom of the world shall be the iron mixed with the miry clay. And Adam was made out of the clay of the ground. The dust and the word is clay. And I will prove it very quickly just to prove everything out. And the Lord God formed Adam. The word formed means squeezing into shape, to mold to a form, especially as a potter. And out of the dust, the word dust, I already know it, it means clay. There you go. So Daniel 2:43, the last kingdom of the world shall be the iron female mixed with the miry clay. There it is. Okay, just use the Bible, proved it out. Now let's get to something really crazy. We were just talking about sperm. Let's talk about sperm. Do y'all know what sperm is? Yeah. Did you know it's alive? It's living. Yeah. Do you know the second a sperm hits an egg, there's a little spark that takes place? There's a spark. Did you know that in my artwork in the other room, I have a Van de Graaff on top of a female egg that's carved onto my thing? And when you touch it, the spark hits and it makes a reflection in a mirror. It's the craziest thing ever. My artwork mimics all this. It's crazy. Okay, so now let's talk about twins in mythology. But remember, Mr. Kahinde that likes to draw, paint women cutting off white women's heads. who I'm the Antichrist, Obama, Barack Obama chose Mr. Kahinde. Let's look at personal life. Wiley identifies as gay. Okay, so he's a gay guy. He likes to do paintings of black women cutting off white women's heads. And Wiley was chosen by Barack Obama to paint his painting. Okay, so let's go take a little look at that stuff. Kahinde, I showed you he's from, the name is, from the Yoruba religion, Yoruba culture, I'm sorry, and their religious belief system is called Ibiji belief system, as the Yoruba believe that twins share the same combined soul. Wow, that is fascinating. So, twins in mythology. Twins appear in the mythologies of many cultures around the world, and some they are seen as ominous, and others they are seen as auspicious, like good. Twins in mythology are often cast as two halves of the same whole. Wait a minute. Let's go to Jonathan's folder for a second. Twins in mythology are cast as two halves of the same whole. That's interesting. Sharing a bond deeper than that of ordinary siblings, or otherwise shown as fierce rivals. Twins can represent some other aspects of self, a doppelganger or shadow. Wow. So you have your own evil twin or your shadow. Do you know Cheryl? No, not Cheryl Crow, but the other girl that sings "Building a Mystery." Um, there's a song in that. There's a line in that song that says, "Can you look out the window without your shadow getting in the way? You're so beautiful, a beautiful fucked up man." Yeah, and by the way, she runs the Lilith Fair. Um, Sarah McLaughlin. She started the Lilith Fair. Go look it up. Go look up the Lilith Fair, Sarah McLaughlin. Go read the words to Building a Mystery. Yeah, you can't look out the window without your shadow getting in the way. You're so beautiful, a beautiful fucked up man. Uh-huh. Go read it. Okay, so self. Twins can represent some other aspects of self, a doppelganger or shadow. The twin may be a brother soulmate, such as the civilized Gilgamesh and the wild Enkidu, or sometimes one twin is the evil twin, while the other side represents good. What have I been telling you? Well, let's not stop quite yet. Look over here. Look over here, right here. Let me drop this down. A pair of female are Ibiji twins. Oh, wow, Ibiji. That's the Yoruba belief system. Look, Ibiji. Oh, wow, that's what this guy Kahinde is. Yeah, Kahinde Wiley. He is from the Yoruba tribe, ethnicity, and he is Yoruba, and their belief system is the Ibiji, I'm sorry, the Ibiji belief system, as the Yoruba believe twins share the combined soul, like I've been telling you, but one is cannibalizing the other within an isotoxal transmutative system. Now, don't forget, we're going to talk about sperm in a minute. Okay, so now let's go to this. Okay, look what's over here on the picture for twins in mythology. Oh, a pair of female Ibiji twin figures, which just happens to tie in with Mr. Kahinde. I'm a friend with Barack Obama, and I painted him as the serpent in the garden. That's what this is. But the serpent unloaded a bunch of sperm into Eve, and that's what this altar is. And that's what I'm going to show you. There it is. Shooting the seed into Eve. I'm sorry for the sound effects. There it is. Seed going into Eve, starting the whole system. And then Adam had sex with her, and they had heteropaternal superfecundation twins. Let me show you what those are. Superfecundation is fertilization of two or more ova from the same cycle by sperm from separate acts of sexual intercourse. Oh, one with the serpent in Genesis 3, and that serpent did seduce her, and she touched it to lay with like a woman, and one in Genesis 4. And Adam knew his wife. There's Adam having sex with Eve after the serpent already had sex with her. And that's why the whole Catholic religion likes to build altars of the penis of the devil going into the vagina of Eve. That's why they do it. And that's why when you turn the whole damn dead sheep upside down, it becomes the female reproductive system. No brainer. I've I've done all the knowledge for you guys. The knowledge is done. And the real crazy thing is the opening to the vagina is really the mouth of a bug which gets the food down in the pit, because the angel of the bottomless pit, which is the devil, the angel of the bottomless pit, everything that goes in that vagina becomes food for him. That's how he gets his food. Now let's look at this guy, Mr. Kahinde, and let's just keep going and knock this out of the park. And let's see, Mr. Kahinde, you seem to have an obsession with sperm. A lot of people think it's me, but it's y'all. I'm just the one showing y'all, everybody, how twisted y'all are. And it seems to upset some people. I'm like, really? I'm not the one doing it. Let's look at Mr. Kehinde Wiley's background on some of his pictures here and say what's up with that. Okay, so what's with the sperm? Like, are those sperm? It's a yes or no. Okay, Mr. Kehinde Wiley, you got sperm in that one. Let's see another picture that you have. Um, by the way, heteropaternal superfecundation twins are twins that are, when you have two ovum that are fertilized by separate sexual acts. One was fertilized by the devil in Genesis 3 by the serpent, and the other one was fertilized by Adam in Genesis 4. One's the child of the devil, one's the child of Adam, and it leads to twin babies from separate biological fathers. There you go. And that's what it is. Twin babies from separate biological fathers. That is heteropaternal superfecundation right there. That's the kind of twins it's called. Heteropaternal superfecundation refers to the fertilization of two separate ova by two separate fathers. There it is. Seed of the serpent and the seed of Adam. Yeah, two different seeds. There it is. Okay, and they created a cannibalistic system. That's why the kids were named Cain and Abel. Let's look at another one of Mr. Kahindo. I'm obsessed with some really weird crap, Wiley. Let's look at this picture. Let's view it full size. Let's see, maybe we got a high resolution. Are those sperm? Are those sperm all around Kahina Wiley's picture of whoever this guy is? Yeah, those are sperm. They sure are. Um, did y'all know that that is just a well-designed, cleverly hidden double-headed phoenix? You see, with the two different ovum. There's one, and what's the wings? Looks like a plantish. Looks like another wing, double head, and there's the crown on top, and it's behind the curtain, which probably represents the female vagina. So here's a guy with sperm all over him. That's Kahina Wiley. And again, I'll look at the camera and I'll say it again. I didn't draw the dirty pictures, okay? I didn't make the dirty ass altar either. I'm just showing you what it is. All those freaks did it. I'm just showing you what the freaks do. So just remember that. Let's take another look now again. Now, remember, I told you this is Barack in the garden. Well, I showed you guys a painting right here the other day, and I was like, wow, check that out. That is supposed to be Napoleon, but his rendition of Napoleon. There's a dead sheep right here on the face. There's the eye of the sheep. There's the nose. There's the lip. There's the open mouth, bottom jaw of the sheep. There's the ear of the sheep. So there's a dead sheep right here. There's a white horse. And when I shrink it, this is the head of a bug. Eye, mandibles, mandibles, eye, mandibles, mandibles. And now the bug is upside down. So the background is a right side up, upside down head of a bug. And then right here on the top, right here, is a guy that's being birthed. It's a bug. He's got antennas like a bug, like the angel of the bottomless pit, who's the king of all the locusts that are going to come out of the pit. And let's have a look at that image real quick. Okay, here we go. And so there, I'm just going to stretch it. You guys can see it. There's the face. It looks kind of like a baby. And these lines right here, those are antenna, folks. I love you in Christ. You don't see it. I'm sorry you don't see it. And now I've turned it upside down to represent the birthing because this is definitely coming out of a female right here. This is the head coming out of a female, and he's got antennae. There you go. Now let me show you Barack Obama. I want you to look at this picture. This is called the negative space. Squint your eyes. Right there is an antenna. Right there is an antenna. So we'll start at the tip of this antenna. We'll go there. It bends. We'll go to his head. Next antenna, we'll go there. It bends and goes here. So here's a tip of antenna to the bend to the head. Goes to the bend to the tip. So let's take this and let's put it right over there. Oh, Barack Obama is the bug from the garden. Where does that go back to? Oh, wow. It goes back to there, doesn't it? Goes right back to the Catholic Church. So you're looking at the Antichrist and the false prophet. The false prophet is going to be the Pope. But let's do something even more fun. Let's take a really close look at some sperm. While they're sitting there holding each other's arm, this is wonderful. What a touching moment this must be. By the way, is that a sperm right there going? Is that a vein or is that a sperm? And what's even crazier is if you shrink it inside, this whole corner of Barack Obama's forehead right here, this is the head of a bigger sperm, probably the seed of the serpent. And there it is coming down to his eye and the tail right here. And now let's back out. So there's one sperm right here and going down, and there's a big sperm going up. See right here? There's the head of the sperm. And let's just have a look at it because I guarantee you that's a sperm. There you go. And then let's just finish this thing off, and then you guys can go show it to everyone you know, because the Lord just let me prove that Barak is the one from the garden, the Elohim that led the insurrection. He is Lucifer that led the insurrection. Here's the head of that sperm. See it right here? And then follow the tail. There it goes. So here's the head, and there's the tail going right down the cheekbone. Comes to the corner of the eye. Follow it, follow it, follow it. There it goes. Very cleverly disguised. There's the tip of it right there. One, and then the other one going the other way. So why does Barack Obama have two sperm in his forehead? Oh, because that's what happened in the garden. The seed of the serpent, and then after the serpent had sex with Eve, and that's why they glorify it with the big building that's a serpent, like there. And then after the serpent had sex with Eve, then Adam had sex with Eve, just like it says in Genesis 4. And Adam knew Hava, his wife, who had already fallen and had sex with the serpent in the garden. And she bare Cain, the spear, as a sense of fixity. And she said, oh, I've gotten a bloodthirsty, incurably sick, incurably wicked man from the Lord, human. And again she bare, and she augmented her birth, and she continued her birthing, and brought forth his brother Abel. And Abel was the son of Adam, and Abel himself was emptiness or vanity, which is all of us. Everybody's the same as Abel. We're all empty and vain until we get converted. So now let's look at a couple more pictures. So I just showed you two sperm on Barack's face, a big sperm and a smaller sperm, and it's the Garden of Eden. He's got bug antennas. And let's talk about the young lady that did the painting of Michelle that looks nothing like Michelle. And by the way, a lot of people notice Barack Obama on his hand, if you look very closely, he's got to have 6 fingers. Oh, I almost forgot one thing. If you look very closely and you enlarge this, you'll see another finger going under. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be where his other finger is. The thumb would have to be on that side. So that would be 6 fingers right there. Oh, you mean like Nephilim? Yeah. And so let me show you one other thing that's very disturbing about the painting of Napoleon. Remember Napoleon that had, let's see, there you go, Napoleon that had the bug antenna and there as being birthed when you turn it upside down. Remember I showed you these double as two things. They look like scarab beetles and they double as scarab beetles, but I got a close up of them. And let's look and see what those scarab beetles really are. What's the fixation with sperm, Cajindo? You got a sperm problem, pal. You like sperm, don't you? You do. You like it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be putting it all over your paintings. And you're into twins, and you're into white women heads cut off, and Barack Obama had you commission his painting. These are all facts. That's the corner of the painting with Napoleon that's got the dead sheep on the face of the horse. Those are sperm, folks. I guarantee it. Now let's talk about the young lady that did the painting of Michelle. Again, on Michelle's dress, she's got the same O as the One World Freedom Tower because she's now Michelle Obama is transgender. We've seen her package many times. Girls that don't have balls and penises, their crotch doesn't bounce running downstairs like that. I mean, unless you have like 5 pound labias or something, but I don't think so. So anyway, so let's just get to it. So here is Miss Amy Sherald. Here's one of Amy Sherald's paintings. I believe this is kind of a, I guess, self-portrait maybe. And she's got on a purple hat. Well, she's dressed up like one of me droogs, like Alex in Clockwork Orange. And I know that because when I was in college, I thought, what a bizarre movie. I watched Clockwork Orange like probably 5 or 6 times because I was like, what is up with this movie? It's so bizarre. Stanley Kubrick. And there she is dressed as Alex, the Droogs. Anyway, so let's go take a look at Clockwork Orange. Clockwork Orange is a 1971 dystopian crime film adapted, produced, and directed by Stanley Kubrick, based on Anthony Burgess's 1962 novel of the same name. It employs disturbing, violent images to comment on psychiatry, juvenile delinquency, youth gangs, and other social, political, economic subjects in a dystopian near future. And they are into, when you read it, they are in, the main character is charismatic antisocial delinquent whose interests include classical music, Beethoven, rape, and what is termed ultraviolence. Rape. There you go. Oh, rape. Oh, wow. So, it's all getting really fascinating, isn't it? And I've got all the pictures that prove it all out and all the scriptures. And if you want to see what the forbidden fruit was, take a look at this apple that's got a hook in it and let's slide it right there where it belongs. There's your forbidden fruit. No one was supposed to engage in sex. Female, fee, iron, iron goddess, female, iron maiden, female, iron mixed with miry clay. And there is the kendecagram that the Statue of Liberty, a female representing Lucifer because he wanted his own kingdom, do as thou wilt, standing on top of a kelipot, which it represents the housing of essence of holiness. And there it is, an 11-pointed star housing the essence of holiness. And there the Statue of Liberty is standing on top of the kelipot because the essence of holiness, God's angels got trapped inside a host body system, and that's why the Statue of Liberty is holding a penis in her hand. Let me enlarge it a little bit so the thing fits. There you go. Why are you holding a penis in your hand, Statue of Liberty? There you go. By the way, she frames Twin Cities, just in case you didn't know that. And here's a really lovely tattoo. If you know who Lilith is and you know who Mut is, there's Lilith, like the Lilith Fair, Sarah McLachlan, building a mystery, and you can't look out the window without your shadow getting in the way. There you go. Okay, so again, I hope I didn't go over that too fast, but Barack Obama, you done got sperm on your face. And that's all there is to it. And that's a fact. And so, someone can try and use plausible deniability, but by the fact that Cohindo, I'm a strange, weird freak Wiley, wants to put sperm in a whole lot of his other images is convincing enough that he did take sperm and put them right there on Barack Obama. He put a really big sperm and then he put another sperm, one going up and one going down, representing the twin system, the heteropaternal superfecundation, told you so, busted. There, I got all that out. I feel better. Okay, just had to get that one out. Now, some crazy shit. Okay, there it is. Now, I talked that way on purpose for a reason today. I just wanted to keep going. By the way, look at the, made sure they had the sun. That's the son of Virginia, that which is the same thing that's on the floor of the CIA. And we're going to do the government film next. I'm going to do, here's the lineup. The next video is the government video, the government of the world, to show you that there's no fixing it. It's got to be burned. So it's going to burn. And then God's going to restore all things. And then we're going to do the tip of the spear video, which is going to just blow your mind. I've got my confirmations. The Lord told me to make a sign and put it on the wall behind me. And he supernaturally confirmed it. Just unbelievable. Sign will be ready in a couple days and it'll be on that wall behind me. And it's the final warning to everybody. All right. There it is. Make sure. By the way, anyone that wants to know the truth about the scriptures, just go get eSword. Go get eSword. Get KJV Plus. And you can look up the meanings of every word in Hebrew. So you're not, at the mercy of some pastor who tells you a bunch of horse crap and you buy into it. Okay, I am not pushed around by any wind of doctrine because I am on the rock. I was born again on the rock. I am on the rock. Okay, so let's get this done.